forward to this as much as anyone because you rightly pointed out I have been away. I have not seen 1 second of the game on Tuesday night, but I did. I was up in Sydney, West Sydney in actual fact. You don't get a lot of footy news, but around 8:30, 9 o'clock, the phone started going, Jim. All the talk was of a man who just came out and redefined football.
When he hit the green stuff, the noise, deafening.
Record crowd, I believe.
It was just quite extraordinary. And not only was he kicking sausages, he was also working the crowd. He was hiding. He used the old hiding behind the point post one.
He trotted them all out.
He was doing all... The trick bag was full, Gary.
Demanded they just move out and give him some space. He's been waffling on about how to do it, how to play football for the past 10 years, and he had the stage on Tuesday night. And it sounds like he hasn't let anyone down. I'm looking forward to hearing from the man. Haven't seen him yet, so please welcome the former great, the greatest comeback in the history of the game, perhaps, John Sammy Newman.
You're all right there, old fella. Oh, no. Look at the fossils. Oh, no. We'll get the swimwear, Gary.
Where do we start?
Yeah, we just had it switched up a bit high. Stuart, thank you for that, Stu.
Here we go.
It's made by my friend Kevin King.
Kevin King made that.
Incidentally, just before we get on with it, I will mention about the teeth later that we were going to make for someone.
Big announcement?
He's contacted, not a big announcement.
Well, rather big, but don't try and deflect it. It's all about you. You demanded 5 minutes off the top of the show.
Oh, no.
Yes, you did. You did say that to me.
Gaz, this is the first silverware you and I have ever seen in our careers.
That is true. That is true.
And I want to just say from the start, I did say this was a joke on the night that I won this, but I was embarrassed. And
embarrassed at how good you were?
No, I was embarrassed that they gave... And I wasn't taking anything away from the night. It was a great night, not for me, but for Ted Whitten, the late.
The late, yep.
And the players who turned up, and the 25,000, and the commentary, and the umpires. It was a fantastic night for what the cause was about, and that's what was the main thing.
Yes. Very, very well said. And that is absolutely right. Over 900,000 up to Tuesday night had been raised for prostate cancer. But who votes on that Best On Ground award, just as a matter of interest?
I was one of them. No, I don't know, but...
I can tell you.
You, who?
Me, Bill and Brian.
And the commentary, Brian and Bill, and you did a great job.
Yes.
Could I just say that I did... The first time I moved off the mark, I twinged a hamstring, and I thought, how pathetic's that? And the second time I moved off, I did the other one proper, and I thought, people will think I'm foxing because of your run down here out in the studio here. And I tried to actually pretend... Have you ever tried to pretend you actually haven't got broken ribs or a sore hamstring? And spent all day yesterday in rehab.
Yep.
And I thought, no, bugger it. I got the rest of my life to get over it. And so I gave it away. Well, but I've got artificial legs and real feet, Gary, so...
What I want to know, Jim, I missed it. I want the first contest. I've asked for the replay of the first contest because I wanted to see what sort of a stamp he put on it. Must have gone uphill. Must have been all up from there, boss.
Courageously going back into the big chief there, David Neitz.
Yeah,
but, no, honestly.
Started slow, but you came good.
I started slow and slackened right off. And could I just say, fantastic performance by my two opponents. I think Mel Michael, and I think it was Shane Wakeland. It might have been Darryl, but I think it was Shane because they're twins, who made a point of pretending they were playing on me, but just as the ball came down, they drifted away and gave me a chance just to take... I don't know if I marked any balls, I can't remember, it was all a blur.
Fair to say there wasn't a lot of defensive running in the Fossils game, but I'll tell you what we have got. And that is, and you need to sit back and enjoy this
Oh,
again.
no, please.
Samuel.
Come on.
Come on and play it?
No, yeah, quickly.
The full highlights package from Tuesday night. Enjoy.
Here comes Newman. Newman's in front. Rogers Newman, remarkable performance.
Look out.
Don't tell me. Look at him. Sam Newman comes in. Shot on goal. He's got it. Sam Newman has kicked another one. He's got two. He's selling
High. Newman. Look at him. For number 3, Newman has kicked it. He has set the Etihad Stadium alight. Here he is, the fossil. Number 4, he's going the Bunana. There it is. 4 goals on the night for Newman. Unbelievable performance from a pensioner.
Just a couple of quick announcements. I got the inspiration for the first goal from the Velvet Sledgehammer through the turf into the air. Matthew Lloyd. I learned everything from him. It dropped straight down on the top of my napper. No wind at the Etihad because the roof was shut. I don't know how long it took Matthew to work that out. The Chief. Wouldn't the Chief have been great at full forward? Jason
Wouldn't
Dunstall.
have got a game in the Victorian team.
No. And Strawny, our friend.
Yes.
I had words with him because I thought he snuck in and took a mark from me, but then he passed it to me. That's teamwork, and Gary, if you spend too much time away from here, I know you haven't been here all this week, there's a man that can drop right into that spot and take over.
Yes.
Young Strawny.
Strawny, yes.
Not doing a hell of a lot at the minute,
Oh,
Gaz.
I'm coaching the under-16s. We haven't won a game yet, so I might not be asked back. What I did want to know was Cobber Rogers, who's the 74-year-old that you're
Where are
playing
his boots? Now, look, can I just show you these boots?
Quickly.
Quick, all right. Azuma made these. Look, there. They've got Azuma on them.
Fossil they've got on.
Azuma made them. Of course they're fossil. And these are the boots I kicked 4 goals with. Fantastic of Azuma. Where's Cobber's boots?
Well, what happened to Cobber? He didn't look like he was moving like he was when he was here about 10 or 12 weeks ago.
No, Cobber is as big as that cup. He weighs as much as that mouth gun. But he broke his ankle, apparently, and didn't tell anyone because he was so excited to be there, and he was fantastic, Cobber. He was. We had some boots made for him. Where are they? We got them?
I don't know, but we got a bit of other stuff out of the game.
Yeah,
Foss.
we have too.
Yep.
This is the memorial. These are on sale. These are my hamstrings. And if you think I'm joking, Gary, I just did him in the first microsecond of springing off the mark. But we did have a great night, and I think that's the only bit of memorabilia we've got. I think Dermot, of course, was the great coach. Yes. He inspired us at the start. He opened up and had the blackboard up there and spoke for 15 minutes about himself. And then he said, hey, now, don't worry about the game, get out and play. And that was about it. I think that's about all we've got at this stage. And can I make an announcement that Jim doesn't know this, but he will be making his inaugural appearance in the 2011 Tuesday game.
I don't think that'll be happening.
I love the idea of that.
There's a good reason why I don't know about that, Gary, because it won't be happening. Now, we've got a very late panel change, ladies and gentlemen, folks. The great Barry Hall is unwell and therefore has had to pull out of coming in tonight. But we have an ample replacement also from the Western Bulldogs. This man is a Brownlow medal winning superstar, and it is great to have him here. Please welcome Adam Cooney. Making his Footy Show debut from the Kangaroos, their star ruckman joins us, Hamish McIntosh. Oh, look at Big Hank. And staying with the big thing from Geelong, Bill Brownless.
Welcome, boys. certificate, Adam, surely. What do you got there?
No, these are just, Zuma made Cobber Rogers some boots, and they got Cobber there and Rogers there, so we gave him a pair, but these are the pair that we thought we'd show you.
Barry Hall not well, which is not great news for the Western Bulldogs, but the replacement, as Jim rightly pointed out, is more than adequate. So, Adam Cooney, welcome, and thanks for coming on very short notice. Have you spoken to Big Bazza? How bad is it?
I actually spoke to him today, and he seemed not too bad. I think he's just a little bit crook, so Baz's not the hardest man, so had a couple of days to rest up.
Mate, tell us about the Western Bulldogs, because very heavily touted pre-season as a likely premiership contender. You've lost 3 of your last 5.
Yeah, look, it's been pretty disappointing. I think we've lost all our close games this year, pretty much, which is something we're trying to address. We're playing some good footy in some stages, but just not getting over the line when we need to.
Played in one of the games of the season on Friday night. I know it wasn't good from where you sat because you didn't win, but the Hawks were fantastic. I thought you blokes were great as well. It was a showpiece of how the game should be played, and if you play like that every week, you're not going to lose too many. Yeah, from all reports, it was a great game. Just disappointing the way we probably used the footy going inside 50. Probably cost us the game in the end.
And Acca, of course, made his comeback through the VFL. Not sure how he played, but he didn't have great words for his opponent. Called him a dribbler.
I've actually never heard the term dribbler until earlier in the week, but that's just Acca, isn't it?
It is.
But Gary...
What?
I mean, the boy that played on him, and good luck to him, all he tried to do was negate Jason Ackermanis. Wouldn't you think you'd try and be a showpiece and try and get a kick yourself? That's why he called him a dribbler. Not knocking the boy. But it would be about time you put him in. He's a great footballer. It'd be about time, I'm not saying you've got anything to do, it'd be about time you put him in the side, wouldn't it, and stop the bullshit. Yeah. Just get him in. Get your best players in, mate.
Well, I think he's got another week to serve at Williamstown.
For what? For what reason?
Well, I think we've been over this the last couple of months, Sam. So.
All right. Well, have you been over this? Now, Adam,
well.
Jason Ackermanis didn't tell me this because I haven't spoken to me, but someone told me that the group sat him down in a chair out the front and quizzed him about his attitude and someone even said, look, you should go and live with some homeless folk for a couple of days just to get you... Is that true?
I'm not sure that's
well, you were there.
Entirely correct.
Is that correct?
The group sat down and we had a chat with...
And did you put him out the front?
Well, he was out the front, yeah.
And what we fired questions?
Really relevant? But
well, what did you do that for?
That is
That's
the
what
way
happens.
of
That's
the
what
modern,
happens.
the modern leadership.
Gary, honestly
The
and
modern
truly.
leadership group, and the way they do it is they put them out, put them under pressure, and...
Well, the next time you do anything stupid, let's get a chair and put you out there and we can grill you. What does that achieve?
Well, it seems to have been effective over the last 5 or 6 years at clubs like Sydney, St Kilda.
I tell you what, I'd like to have seen them do it to Gary Ablett Senior or Tony Lockett, put them out the front if they did anything untoward. He would have got up and belted a living suitcase
Who
out
were
of
the 2 players you just mentioned?
A big one?
Who were the 2 players you just mentioned?
I think they were... One of them was a Brownlow medalist like Jason.
Both players didn't win a premiership.
What does that mean?
Well, maybe if they had sat them down...
They won a premiership in 1954.
Maybe if they had sat them down the front and given them some honest feedback, they might have got a better result.
That's kid stuff.
Oh, you think?
That is kid stuff. Sitting a player down the front and having his teammates ask him ridiculous made-up questions because they think
How do you know they're ridiculous and made up?
Well, one of the questions was, and Jason didn't... Can I assure you, he'd be embarrassed that I'm saying this, one of the questions was... don't you think, what about you spend a couple of nights with some homeless folk out in a shelter just to get your attitude right? What's that got to do with it?
Are you saying that Jason thought it was ridiculous?
No, I haven't. I haven't. Now, Jason will probably drive in here and belt me. He hasn't told me this. Someone told me this.
Well, that is the way they do things.
Oh, well,
in
that
the
is
modern
ridiculous.
Well, maybe
get out and
maybe
get a
it's
kick
not
on
ridiculous.
the park, Gary.
Maybe
Don't worry
it's
about
not.
all the other peripheral stuff.
All right, let's welcome Hamish McIntosh, who's making his Footy Show debut. You in with a nice easy one. Do you do that at North Melbourne? Sit them out the front and fire questions at them?
Oh, we don't have any issues to worry about, so we're pretty clean slim down there.
Nice
so we are
nice.
nothing to worry about down there.
He's a big, strong man.
Oh, yes. Some good news at the club, Big H, this week with...
Big what?
H. Well, his name's Hamish, so it's abbreviated to H. It's his nickname.
So that's the best you can come up with. H. At least you haven't called him H. H.
Hamish. Drew Petrie comes back, enormously important for the footy club, and Robbie Tarrant, we understand, is going to make his debut as well. So some great ins for the Kangaroos coming up in a big game against the Swans.
Yeah, it's a great story, Robbie Tarrant. He's had 4 shoulder echos now, and he's had a lot of ups and downs through his journey through the AFL system, and he's been there 3 years now, I think, and it's a great story that he'll play his first game this week against Sydney, and hopefully we can get a win for him.
Hank, how's the chairman going over there? Are we all happy with him?
I haven't seen him in a while. He come down today and just kind of floated around, had a bit of a chat, and then took off.
How well do you reckon you know him?
Yeah, pretty well, I'd say.
Well, let's find out the real answer to this, because we like to play a game here on the Footy Show called How Well Does Hamish McIntosh Know James Brayshaw? I want you to watch this video clip, and then I've got a question after it, OK? Watch this.
I grew up in Perth, and back in the 70s, all the big names in football from Perth came to Melbourne and played for North Melbourne. That, coupled with the fact that in the 70s, North Melbourne played in 5 grand finals in a row, they were the biggest club. Got on the board, and then a year later, when we decided to stay in Melbourne, I was made the president.
A multiple choice question this. How much of a wanker is Jim? Is he A, massive, B, huge, or C, beyond belief?
D, all the above.
Yeah.
Be careful.
Good game, this one. A regular on the Footy Show.
Gary,
another question.
I haven't seen any of this stuff.
I've got another bit of vision. Shut up, Jim. Another bit of vision here. I want you to watch it. I've got a question after it. Here we go.
You've been a bad boy,
There it is there, the Mardi Gras. Oh, Jim, very popular at the Mardi Gras. And, of course, the question is, Hank, after this, Jim's anger level, after seeing that clip, how big will it really be? Because we said we'll never show that on this show again. A, huge, A, massive, B, huge, or C, beyond belief?
D, all the above.
Oh, Jim, look at old Jim over there.
Jim, you are off to a very disappointing start in your debut, and I'd smarten up.
What was the video? What was that? Seriously. What was the
I
video?
don't know.
What,
You
in the
just
car with the glasses on?
cobbled that together
What were you
somewhere.
doing and
Don Johnson and Miami Vice-ish, Jim.
you sit the coach down and tell him where to play?
I think that was a promotional video for Mazda, who are the major sponsor of the club, Gary. I think that's what that
Jim,
was.
I'd get some mittens. You're going to rip it right off. I tell you what, it's frightening.
Oh, no, that's not good, Jim.
Oh, it's unbelievable, isn't it?
I turned up at all the meetings this week, Gary, and no one showed me any of that.
Jim.
We're going to get this round started. Hank, straighten up over there. Port Adelaide take on Collingwood AAMI Stadium Friday night. Port Adelaide have lost a club record 7 straight games. They've also lost their last 3 at home. Travis Boak comes back in. Chad Corns to miss with suspension. As we take a look at the on-fire Maggies. Have not lost to Port Adelaide in Adelaide since 2004, if you don't mind. They've won their last 5 matches in the City of Churches. Steele Sidebottom, a fine young player, comes in for Leon Davis. And just hold the applause while I work my way through this. Dale Thomas, Harry O'Brien and Dane Swan all play their 100th game, and Mick Malthouse will coach his 250th game for the Maggies, making him just the 3rd person to that milestone. So congratulations to those 4. Bill.
You think Collingwood would win this game pretty easily. Interesting enough, Josh Fraser, still emergency, still can't play his 200th game. They'd win pretty easy over there, Collingwood.
Hank?
Yeah. Darren Jolly had a really good game last week. He's been outstanding. The last few weeks, he's really starting to hit his straps. Since he's been at Collingwood, he had a bit of a slow start. And in that form, with the way Collingwood are going, they're definitely going to win this weekend against Port Adelaide.
Adam?
Yeah, look, I think Collingwood will have too much running power. Harry O'Brien really leading the way back there with Nick Maxwell out.
Fossil?
Well done, H. Did you ask Jason Eckermanis a question at the rotunda there, or did you ask him anything? What did you ask him?
I can't recall.
Adam, come on, coon.
It was a while ago.
What?
It was a while ago now.
No, it wasn't.
I forget these things.
It was last week.
Yeah, that's a week ago.
What would you have asked him?
I would have asked him...
Don't think about it too much. No, you thought it was ridiculous, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
No, I didn't. It's ridiculous.
Who are you tipping there?
I'm tipping the Pies. The Pies are heading towards the first Saturday in October or whenever we're playing the grand final.
Yeah, you would think they'd win pretty comfortably there, old Fosser.
Yeah, we would. And Gary, just while you're away, I tell you, can I give you a tip? Yep. I don't often give you tips, Gary, because you are a doyen. I wouldn't go away for too long. There's a man, as I said, that played Strawny, who could just sit there if you go away for too long. And a man
Yes.
who had mirrors and lights on him, took over Footy, is it Classified?
Yes, it is.
Took over Footy Classified and did a superb job. Here he is, himself. And not only has he taken over your job, he's taken over your segment, because we had someone send in, this is dogs that look like Dermot, and this is from David Ringwood. This is dogs. You look like Dermot. Yeah. Oh. So that's it. Let's get a split screen there. I don't know if we've got technology that can do that. In a minute, just in 1 second now. I'm sure we'll be able to split the screen.
It's sort of a 1-2
pretty
screen.
technically. Gareth, stay back here. Don't worry about doing anything else but doing this job.
I'm staying here. I'm not welcome.
The cemeteries are full of indispensable people, Gary.
Oh, Foss.
Very crisp on Monday
Whatever
night.
that
means. Now, we are going to head to a break because we've got some big stuff coming, but I just mentioned, as Gary did, that Jim Stynes is not far away, and we are very much looking forward to having him on the show. But outside of Jim, there is lots to come on the Footy Show.
Still to come on the Footy Show, Sam heads to the streets of Werribee and a kids' block careers edition of Street Talk.
Low life.
We preview all the round 15 action, including the monster clash between the Cats and the Hawks.
Sensational from Franklin.
The Fossil dips into his mailbag, and Billy will leap into this week's Almost Footy Legends. But up next, inspirational Melbourne president Jim Stynes is our special guest. All that and more tonight on the Footy Show.
Games on VFL out. Jack Grimes, unfortunately, with a hammy, and Jade Spencer will take on the Bombers, who have also brought in a few players in the squad. Dyson Dempsey, Angus Mumfries, Ben Howard, Jay Nagle named at full forward. Tom Collier comes in out. Henry Slattery. Tyson Slattery, with his first game last week, he got dropped. And Michael Quinn has also been dropped. Should be a beauty, this, Jimmy. Very disappointing, the Bombers last week. But so have Melbourne of late. They started really well, and I wonder if Jim gets down there and gives them a bit of rev up, because they've only won one of their last 9 matches, and they really need a win here. But I reckon the Bombers are going to bounce back and win this one.
Yeah, both teams have been a little bit quiet lately, but I look at Melbourne's ends with Sylvia and Liam Jarrah's first game for the year. I really feel like they'll get up this week. They've played a good brand of footy this year, and hopefully they get a win for Jim.
Yeah, I think Essendon obviously disappointed last week with their effort. Hopefully they'll get their run back this week, and I think it's going to be a really close game, but I'm going to go with Melbourne.
Now we're in an invidious position. We don't want to patronise the great man, and we're between a rock and a hard place. Essendon, a shocker last week. You'd think they'd bounce back, but I don't know why. I want to ask you a question. Yeah. Are you a believer? Do you think there's someone up there, mate? Just as personally, do you?
I believe. Yeah, like, I don't believe that he's going to decide whether I'm going to make it or not make it or anything like that. I think that's, you know, they're not the decisions that he needs to worry about, and, you know, particularly, you know, little old me. But I do believe that there's
something else,
an energy out there, and
well, if there's something else up there, man, woman or beast, I reckon he might look over this man, and I reckon they might steal the points.
Those 22 Melbourne boys sitting home watching this, they will win the game on Sunday without any doubt.
Two things, Jim. Firstly, we absolutely love having a Melbourne player in who was a better player than Gary. So it is an absolute pleasure to have you in, and you're welcome every week as far as Sam and I are concerned. And secondly, there's very little in football that I can speak of with any authority, but when it comes to wiping off nearly $4 million worth of debt out of a footy club, it has been an unbelievable performance from you guys. I think you've got about 700 left to totally get rid of it.
767,000. So we started 2 years ago. We had a $5 million debt, and
it's extraordinary.
We're going for. We want to wipe it, and that was the biggest thing. The first decision we made as a board, and we said we're going to knock off this debt, and so we will. In two years and 2 months, we're going to knock it off, and we've got till the 5th or the 4th of August, we'll finish with a big event with all our foundation heroes who've already put in an awful lot over the last 2 years. So we're launching it this weekend, and we want everyone, all our Melbourne supporters, to be involved in this.
So that was one of Jim's first, yeah, absolutely. One of the first things Jimmy promised when he became the president was said you're going to get rid of that debt before he does anything else. And if you know him, he does. If he says something, he's going to do it. I've been at the nights, both nights. He gets people to stand up, and you've got to commit, Fossil. If you're standing up, you've got to commit. And it was an inspiring night. Melbourne people had come back, and first night we wiped out a blood.
2 million on that night.
2 million.
20 minutes.
In 20 minutes, another night. Now we want the Melbourne supporters to do their best. www.debtdemolition.com.au. That's going to run for a month, and then we'll have a third night where we make sure that that $767,000 is going to be gone.
Well, Jim, after the members have finished, it's my understanding that Gary's going to pick up the rest.
Yeah. You could just amortise just half your salary. That'll take care of it overnight, Gary.
Bit of shrapnel.
Yes, shrapnel. He carries that in his fob pocket.
Yeah,
we got in the audience Jim's sister and his gorgeous children here, Matisse and Tiernan. Welcome to the Footy Show, you guys. Terry Ann also. Matisse, I'm going to start with you, darling. Matisse, over here. Now, I had a little chat with you before. Who's your favourite Melbourne player at the moment?
Dad.
Your dad? Now, who's your favourite old Melbourne player that used to play?
Dad.
It's not what you told me you were going to say. What about the demons running around now? Who do you like playing today?
Colin Sylvia.
Oh, Colin Sylvia. What about Tiernan? He's going to talk to us, Jimmy, or not?
No, you never know.
Tiernan.
Hello.
Who's your favourite Melbourne player, Tiernan?
Jack Watts.
Jack Watts. I love you guys coming in. At the end of the day, Jimmy, that's what it's all about, mate.
Oh.
They are your strength and your motivation, and you get fantastic support.
No, it is, and like I remember you with your 3 boys, you know, and you were playing. I don't know how you did it, but you know, this is just the best part about life, is having kids and watching them grow up and having their dreams and watching them live out some of theirs. So, you know, it's been, you know, when you, and some people in here might have had this experience, but when you're faced with life like I have, you really do look at what's going on around you, and I've been very fortunate that I haven't made too many mistakes, and I've got a good family, good friends, and I love what I do, and hopefully Melbourne will reward all of us at the moment that support the club, and we'll see us with a premiership within, you know, the next 3 to 5 years.
It is a remarkable thing, a remarkable footy story, and I know you've been fighting hard, and to come here tonight was a big deal. So on behalf of all of us, mate, we love you, and we wish you every luck in the world. Not much more to say. We'll be back with more Footy Show after this.
Friday night for the Footy Show, courtesy of Crazy John's, of course, at Nissan Navara. The big one between Geelong and Hawthorn coming up shortly. But now it is time for Sam's Mailbag.
You were here last week, Gary. Yeah, you've only been away. Last week we broke some bottles, make-believe bottles over Shane's head. and make believe they were, and people thought it was irresponsible to give people the impression it was all right to go around breaking bottles. I mean, I don't know what the mentality of the community is, Gary. So this week, this is a real knife. That is a real knife, let me assure you. And if Shane was here, I'd cut his plums out because he actually missed the record. Now, I hope no one gets an idea that you should go out and knife people because we've shown a knife, Gary. I don't know if we have to explain that or draw pictures, but what we do here, they weren't real bottles, but could you believe it? Could you believe it?
I could believe it.
Right, that was
well, because people like to make something out of not much fuss.
Well, honestly and truly.
Anarchy got $5,000. They were very happy.
Anarchy?
Yeah.
What,
the footy club.
In the state of anarchy?
No, the footy club.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you meant we were anarchy.
No, not yet. Not unless you get started.
Alex of Launceston, dear Sam. Please show this on the show. It took me 3 hours to do it. Regards, Alex. Now, look, you can do a lot in 3 hours. You could conquer the first leg of the Kokoda Trail. You could fly to Auckland. You could see almost the entire collection of the British Museum. This is what Alex did. It took him 3 hours. This is his... This is what he thinks we are at the Footy Show. Not bad, is it? Alex, you imbecile. This took me 15 seconds to do, mate. That is you, being a dickhead. Well done. No, not bad. That, Adam. Yeah, that's Alex. Marco of Happy Valley. Happy ending? Happy Valley, South Australia. Sammy loved Buddy Franklin on the show the other week. Loved his T-shirts even more. Everyone, it seems, is bringing out a T-shirt range. Sammy, why don't you? Nice idea, Marco. This is my brand. I've just had these done up. This is the first one. This is called the Colossal Fossil. And you can see, feel those.
Shoulder pads in there,
No, they're incontinence pads, Jim. You can rip them out and stick them down your jodhpurs. That's the mature age T-shirt, guys. And then we've got no war, no hate, and then on the back it's no hamstring. Extremely funny going. I know, not that.
Crisp.
And this one here is this what?
You got more.
What are we?
There you go. Well,
we have got
the Colossal Fossil brand.
Yeah, this is a warning. If you put that on, and when you turn it around, it's just. And this, God love the old bugger. This is his boots here. But this is Cobb, who came all the way. This is the Cobber T-shirt, and it says, Cobber is a dribbler. And he loves it. That's that. And then the final letter comes from... Let's have a look. I stumbled across Dylan of Richmond. I didn't stumble across him. It's from Dylan of Richmond. G'day, Sam. I stumbled across this clip on YouTube that I thought might give you a laugh. It's an old ad for Hannah's All Sports, and it features Paul Hudson, Gavin Brown, and your very own Gaddy Lyon. Now, out of these three legends, who would you choose to model a pair of footy shorts? Have a look at who they chose.
The 92 footy season is on for young and old at Hannah's All Sports. Short sleeve jumpers now $46. Kids, $39. Men's sweat tops from $34. Men's AFL footy shorts, $24. Hannah's All Sports, where you always score on AFL footy gear.
And I think that was old Rexy doing the call, wasn't
Not
it?
great, wasn't it?
And we were going to get you to actually put them on and show us the real thing, Gary.
Times
But
on the wing.
fortunately enough, Gary,
What?
you'd had modelled them the year before, and we have this on tape here. This is you modelling them. Yes, that's you. And then we had got a shot of you, I think. On the
Right, so if you've got some funny stuff like that, send it in to Sam.
roadkill on your guts there.
It's a big forest.
800 Richard Victoria 3121 or by the internet, sams.mailbag@9.com. Yeah.
You just picked up a wombat off the street and shoved it on your guts.
Sure, what was going on there, Jim? I don't think that was a model that stepped in there.
No.
Biggest game of the round is happening at the MCG on Saturday. It is Geelong up against the Hawthorn Footy Club. Cats on top of the ladder, 11 wins, 7 out of 3 losses. Belted the Kangaroos by 35 points, had a record 505 touches. What about the ins? Ling, Taylor and Ottens. They are looking scary. The Cats, they come up against a very good Hawthorn side though. They are 7th on the ladder, 8 wins and 6 losses. They lose Sam Mitchell and Beau Mustin, but they regain Campbell Brown and Josh Gibson back from that hamstring injury as well. First time in their history of the game, a side has lost 6 matches in a row, as Hawthorn did, and then have come back and won 7 in a row. They're in form, Adam. Yes. Can they roll the Cats at the MCG?
Yeah, we had the Hawks, saw them firsthand last week. They're obviously in fantastic form at the moment. Luke Hodge will win the Brownlow this year, and I think it'll be too hard to split. I reckon it'll be a draw.
Hank?
I think it'll be a great game of footy. Sam Mitchell's going to be a big loss for the Hawthorn Footy Club. He's had 34 disposals in the last 3 games against the Cats, and with Geelong's ins as well, with Ling, Otten's a quality player. I think the Cats will get up and it'll win.
Some good ins. Cameron Ling back, Harry Taylor's important, and Brad Otten's just got to play footy, so it's great to see him back, but good to see Gibbo and Campbell. They're always tight, close games, these ones.
So not a lot of love lost, Bill?
There is a lot of love lost.
No, I said not a lot of love lost, Bill.
That's the double negative, Bill.
Right.
Means 2 minuses make a plus, meaning there is a lot of love lost.
Well, don't say there's not a lot of love lost.
Don't confuse him. They don't like each other. Bill.
Well, go back to '89 when the Hawks won that one, and then '08 when the Cats thought they might have won and they didn't.
That's what he's saying.
And a bit of trash talked after that grand final.
Yes, they respect each other a lot.
Bullshit.
And they both play good, hard footy. So this will be a cracker. They're always tight games, Cats just.
Samuel.
Now, I'm not. I agree with you, Adam. I couldn't separate them because Hawthorn are on a roll and Geelong are fantastic. So I'm not going to pick a winner and be obvious and say Geelong. I'm going to say it's going to be a draw.
2 blokes tipping a draw.
2 draws.
I tell you what, you wait till it's a draw and look how smart we'll look. And could I just say, on a very sombre and serious note, a man I played football with, Peter Walker, passed away today, a great centre-half back for the Cats, I think died of, in fact, prostate cancer. And we wish we don't wish him, we wish his family and his friends and all his teammates, we are thinking of them, and our condolences to the whole of the Geelong fraternity who saw that man play great football for the Cats.
Well said there, Sonny.
Just while we're on that, Billy Wellwood, who's very popular in the charity auction circles. I work with him a lot of times. He passed away recently also. Sympathies to the family. He was a very, very good man. So,
good. Well said, Billy. I think the Hawks might win this one, but Hawks, if there's a draw, Jim and I will do the show nude next week.
We will.
Oh. Nude. Right here. Nude.
We mightn't do the walk-on bit.
Not the walk-on. We'll sit here and
sit here for the night.
That's a fact. Speaking of nude.
Yes, speaking of nude.
I just want you to have a recap of Bill's run last week, and I want you to watch James Brayshaw. This is how taken he was with Billy. Just count how many times he says the word no as William.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the people in the front row.
Oh, no!
People in the front row.
Oh, no!
Stand back. Sit back. Just get back. Because here he comes, our man, Bill Brown.
Oh, no!
Don't do it, Bill.
Oh, no, Bill! They're not all my nose. A few of them at the end were yours.
No.
Now the whole crowd saying yes.
There was a fantastic photo in the Geelong Advertiser of us looking at Bill, and I got a couple of snaps of Bill. Now that's the Geelong, and that is a fantastic shot. That is as good a photo as you'll see. And I got an actual snap, and we had him develop, Gary.
Oh, have you?
And the Footy Show, I don't want to steal Hutchie's lines, but the Footy Show can reveal that these were the photograph. This is the photograph. And we exclusively got into the domain of Bill's house, and we saw him practising with in front of his missus, Nikki, and this was just some stuff we got through the window there.
What does that mean?
I don't know, it means you're fat, that's what that means. You're fat and got no dick, that's what it means.
I got something wrong. Something wrong with my bottom. It had a crack in it. Let's go to the next game, boys. Sydney Swans v North Melbourne. 8th versus 9th. What a big game this is for both sides. And last week, Sydney were beaten by Richmond. They led by 33 points, got bowled over. Ted Richards in, Bevan, Meredith, Vess Primi and Lewis Johnson, a new boy. Good luck to him. Out, Henry Playfair and Craig Bird. They take on North Melbourne, who were beaten by the Cats last week. Oh, good one, Drew Petrie. Great to see him back. Lee Harding back. Gavin Urquhart and Robbie Tarrant for his first game ever. So good luck to him. Out Zeeble, unfortunately, with that broken leg.
First game ever.
Well, it is.
Yeah, well, that's
fantastic game. This will be.
First game would suffice.
Shut up, Sam. I'm going for Sydney up there at the SCG, but great to see Robbie Tarrant playing.
Yeah, it's a massive game for us in the contents of our season, 8th versus 9th. Same amount of points, so it's really can set up our year from here. So
what do you reckon, H? Who are you tipping, mate?
Kangas just.
Well done.
And Hank, before we get the thoughts of Adam Cooney, our thoughts to Jack Zeeble. A young man, only 18 years of age, and he is going to be a jet. He's broken his leg twice in his first 20 games, which is extraordinary. In a lot of pain, probably watching at home, so Zeebs, you are a star. Adam.
Yeah, I think Drew Petrie's a massive in for the Kangas, and because Big H is sitting next to me, I'm going to tip them.
Good boy,
I think the Swans are off the boil, Gary, and I think they're almost resigned to the fact. I wouldn't like this to get up there because they'll probably. I think they're resigned to the fact they're going nowhere this year. But the Kangaroos, on the other hand, have got everything to aspire to, and I reckon they might steal the points. Yes?
Well, Brett Kirk, 191st consecutive game. That puts him 6th. That man they just left us, Jim Stynes.
He played 700 in a row, didn't he?
244 in actual fact, so well done to Kirky. I think the Swans might just get you, Hank, but I'm happy to be wrong. We're going to take a break. There's a lot of footy news around. Damien Barrett to join us after this on the Footy Show. Welcome back to the Footy Show. Thanks to Crazy Johns and the Nissan Navara. Have been a big footy news week. I have been away, but the Ben Cousins story has dominated, and the man that broke that story exclusively on Channel 9 was Damien Barrett, and he joins us tonight. Welcome, Damo. Massive story. Only got little bits and pieces of it up north, but Damo, what's it all mean for the future of Ben Cousins?
The club now, Gary, is ready to move on without Ben Cousins. He's going to miss this week's game against Fremantle. Could well come back for the round 16 game against the Kangaroos. But in terms of what happens next year, it's pretty much it for Ben. The club came to that decision pretty much at the mid-season point of the year. And while his past 4 weeks have been pretty good, in fact very good in some people's eyes, the events of the past week are now that the contract extension that he was hopeful of just simply won't happen, and it's a view that's been quietly supported by the AFL as well.
What happened? Can you talk us through what happened on that night?
Yeah, all sorts of things happened. He was found to have 4 different substances in his system on that occasion. They were all prescription substances, so there's nothing of an illicit sense, but there was also one very powerful anti-anxiety sedative. He did actually become quite aggressive when he did come to in the hospital on Monday. The doctors were required to subdue him and then sedate him, and checking himself out of hospital as he did on the Tuesday, it's very unusual for someone to be in intensive care one night to be checked out quite early the next day, and that certainly was against some Medico's wishes. And just on Ben and Medico's, he has 3 doctors, Gary, and while they do converse with each other, there's certainly at times some annoyance with some of the prescriptions that are being given to him.
And what about the whole issue of caffeine tablets? And it's become another big topic. It was a ban on the banned substance list at one stage, was it not? Well,
Yep.
WADA had it on, and they're reviewing that policy at the moment?
Yeah, it was taken off the banned substance list in 2004, pretty much because they couldn't work out what was a level at which people got an optimum or a performance enhancement out of it. Right now, though, there is consideration to it being put back on, and Doc Larkins, who's all over this particular topic, has said today that some clubs have more than 50% of their players using up to 6 a match. He said players on every single club are using them, that they're so doing without the doctor's, I suppose, urgings, for want of a better word, but they're doing it on their own accord because they think it's the thing to do.
Boys, Adam, Hamish, I think James Hurd, Matthew Lloyd and others have put their hand up and said on occasions they've used. Have you ever used caffeine tablets?
I might sneak a half in at half-time every now and then, Gaz, but it's either that or have a couple of coffees at half-time. And
So what is it a placebo effect, or do you actually think you get a lift from something like that?
I think it's just something to wake you up, either before a game or at half-time. Sometimes you can get pretty tired, nerves can get the better of you, so yeah, I think it's just something to give you a little bit of a lift.
Hamish?
Yeah, some of our boys at the club use it, but a lot of the guys also use this gel, a goo we've got as well. So it's just a personal choice. Sometimes you can feel it. Goo or gel sounds good.
What's a goo? What is it?
It's just like a chocolate kind of flavoured goo, and it just gets in you. You have that before a game. So some guys have that, and some guys have the no-dose. You know, it just depends on how you feel going to the game.
And whose choice is that?
Flash.
Whose choice is it to take no-dose? Is that a player choice, or is it something you go to the doctor and consult about, or not?
Oh, it's a player's choice. It's you know, if you've had them in the past, then you decide if you like them or not. If they've actually done something for you before the game, if actually, you know, they give you a bit of a lift. So I use them occasionally if I'm feeling a little bit dull, a little bit down before a game. So it's just the player's choice from week to week.
It's your Red Bull, basically, but you're not allowed to drink Red Bull because of the fluid consumption is checked so regularly. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think it's just the same as having a couple of coffees, but in a tablet form, so I don't really see a big deal about it.
So you don't think it's an issue that needs to be addressed?
Nah, not at all. I don't see why it would.
What did you take, Sam?
Gary, you can call me a fossil, and you can call me a Luddite or a troglodyte, or I'm living in another age. The day I played 18 years for Geelong, the day I needed some no-dos or some goo or bloody anything to get me excited about competing or playing is the day I'd give it away. What in the hell do you need that for? We're going to take drugs, Gary. Let's get into the drugs. Let's stop beating around the bush. Let's get some proper drugs.
Don't ask the boys.
Fair dinkum. What would you need to have a cup of coffee, Adam, at half-time to get you excited about winning another Brownlow medal, mate?
Well, just to get you up and going. Do you have a coffee in the morning,
wouldn't you
Sam?
be wanting to getting up and going? That's what you do for a living.
Do you have a coffee in the morning?
I have hundreds of them, mate.
Yeah. Coffee in the morning.
Not to get me going, because I enjoy it. Bill, what did you take ever?
Viagra. Big on. Used to get me up and going, Sam.
Anyway,
no, none of that. Actually, a bottle of Lucozade one day I had. That was my big upper.
Oh no, it wouldn't be. We're no good down at North because we don't want any fluids in us, Jim.
No, they do, but they monitor the fluids.
Oh, monitor
so therefore,
my
Red
arse.
Bull.
Jim,
they don't.
honestly and true. Did you ever take anything?
It's become
Gary,
a bit more scientific, Foss, in the modern
taking
era.
no-dos and coffee at half-time
No.
is scientific, is it?
I think goos and fluid levels are very carefully monitored.
Any goo that... I didn't know.
Hey, Damo, we'll watch with interest what happens there with WADA reviewing it. What about the big day player? Gold Coast still on the hunt. There's a man over at Port Adelaide that many clubs had their eyes on, thought they could move him, but maybe not.
Yeah, this is a move that will impact on the new Gold Coast team and some Victorian clubs, with Port Adelaide's Travis Spoke set to actually re-sign with the Power. It had been thought for most of this year that he would move away from Alberton, but in the past 3 weeks he's got his head around staying, and a new contract could be signed even as early as sometime within the next fortnight. He's going really well this year. He could actually win the best and fairest for Port, and some Victorian footy club managers this week have got wind of that news.
Super player, aren't the Bombers are also looking at him very, very strong. Travis Spoke.
Very good player.
That's the big news about staying on?
Yeah, mate, it is. It's a big sign.
Travis Spoke.
Well, Sam, if he played for Collingwood or
Spoke?
Carlton, he would be a household name. He's a terrific player.
That is the point. That is exactly the point.
Who is he?
No, that he's playing for Port Adelaide, but had he been at a big club, he was highly rated as any. And what can you tell us about Maxi Rook?
Yeah, he's having a last-ditch attempt at playing this year, Gary. He's going to head to the United States early next week to receive treatment on the knee problem that he's had all year, and that was what thought to have probably ruled him out for the year. But he has played only once this year in round 5. He's going to head to Vermont, where an international panel of leading experts will treat the knee. And it's the second time that he's going to be sent overseas by the Cats. In 2007, he had the calf blood treatment on the hamstring. He got back for the last 2 VFL matches that year, played in the finals, and that's the time frame they're hoping to work to with him this year as well.
What animal product do they have over in Vermont?
I think it's the standard medical practice this time. So
moose
nothing
spleen or moose urine or
gecko bladder.
Gecko bladder.
Very nicely done. Damien Barrett, thank him, please. A terrific performance from you, Damo. As we get ripping into the next game, and isn't this a club that is up and about the Tigers? Won 4 of their last 5 off the bottom of the ladder. Webley comes in and Ben Cousins is the obvious out for the Tigers. As I said, won 4 of their last 5. Fremantle are also in very good shape. Nice Freo flavour in the room. They sit 4th. Haven't beaten Richmond in Melbourne since round 12, 2004. Subin, Ruffles and Pearce return 5. Barlow and Grover all very sadly missed with injury. Congratulations to Aaron Sandilands, who is set to play game number 150. So a round of applause for Aaron. There are the centre bet odds. $1.49. Hamish McIntosh, who do you think's winning this game?
Yeah, I think Fremantle will get up. I think Mickey Barlow is a tremendous story for the year, but he'll be sadly missed. I played a bit of footy at Werribee when I came back from my knee, and he's going to be sadly missed with Fremantle this year, and I hope he gets well soon. But in saying that, I still think Fremantle will win the game and continue on their way.
Phil?
Yeah, I'm with Hank. I think Fremantle. They've only lost 4 for the year. They're a pretty good side, so that you'd think they'd beat Richmond.
Yeah, I think with you two gentlemen over there, I think Fremantle will be too good.
Could you get him a short black with a couple of sugars? just see if you can get through the night, Adam. That'd be good. Or a latte or something.
Sugar.
What do you want?
No sugar.
No sugar. Just a short black, no sugar. Now, could I apologise again to Richmond? Gary, we said in a decade they'd never fire a shot in anger. Haven't they been fantastic?
4 of the last 5, 3 in a row.
Fantastic. And this will be a very, very good game. And I don't know, it's a bit... I might have a draw again.
Not another draw.
You couldn't pick any side with certainty, and I'm not picking.
I'm going for Freo. I think Fremantle.
Now, Gary,
you might be sorry you said that, Gary.
Might be, but
you missed the footy on the weekend, Gary.
Can I ask you, sorry, Jim, is Ben Cousins not playing? Why is he...
He missed the rehab and then he missed a training session, so I think it's club policy.
I see. So it's not that he's...
No, he hasn't done anything wrong in the eyes of Richmond. It's just that he missed those 2 sessions.
Well, wouldn't you put your best... If he's a good...
If you're in intensive care, it's probably not a
No, but that's my point. Is he not playing because he's been ill, or is he not playing because he missed the training?
I would imagine it's a combination.
Is it discipline or illness?
No, I think it's both.
We saw during the week, Gary, weekend, and you were away, so you would have seen this maybe, the tragic ending of the season for Michael Barlow, who had been having an unbelievable season with the Fremantle Dockers, and you can see here that you don't want to watch, so you need to look away, but our thoughts are with him, of course, and everyone attached to the Fremantle Dockers, because he has been the story of the season, and we just need to sort of go back over that as many times as enough. So, amazingly courageous, though, Michael Barlow, Gary, because he was able to get his way through what happened straight after.
Don't make light of this, Jim.
No, don't worry, we're not, Gary. We are open in our admiration for Michael and how he was able to conduct himself in the next 5 or 6 minutes, Gary.
He's not making light of it, Gary. He's going to make...
I'm not talking to you, Foss.
Gary, we've only been able to compare his unbelievably stoic and courageous behaviour.
Well, if you're going to do what I think you're going to do, you better give the folks a warning.
Gary, we can only compare the amazingly courageous and stoic behaviour of Michael Barlow with that of another man who suffered a similar injury.
I also stood up, Jim, after I broke my leg. You don't happen to show that.
Well, Gary, all I know is...
what, you oughtn't ruin a good... What are you talking about?
I rang Fremantle when I saw that because it's exactly the same injury, both bones broken in exactly the same spot, and I read in the paper that he would possibly miss next year as well. That's not right.
Quite on. Now, let's get the humour out of the way. You were injured in which round of the year?
Well, round 22, I did that and played round 1 the next year.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I left a message with Michael to say that I have never since that day had one issue with the leg again. So it's shocking for him, and he's in Brownlow medal form, and he's a great footy story, but that will knit and mend itself, and he'll come back.
But our friend Nath Brown came back a fraction early and never was the same.
But he had shattered bones in a whole different place.
Oh, well, I thought he said he broke his leg in 2 places.
Yeah, he snapped him in half.
Michael didn't get back to you?
Pardon?
Michael didn't get back to you?
No, I'm catching up with Michael for
But just couldn't, not even a text back yet?
I didn't ring Michael, I rang the Fremantle Footy Club.
Right, of course.
I'm catching up with Michael anyway.
I want to catch up with you, Gary.
He
you
does.
might be yesterday's
No,
man.
he does. Brisbane take on St Kilda Saturday night at the Gabba. A big game for lots of reasons. The Brisbane Lions are going terribly. Lost 9 of their last 10, went down by 55 points. Sheldon, O'Brien out. Hanley and Favola back into this Brisbane Lions lineup. They take on the St Kilda Footy Club. It's all about one man here. Patterson and Stanley out, and, well, Kaczynski, but Nick Revolt returns to the St Kilda Footy Club. How about that for an inclusion to a side who's sitting second on the ladder, 11 wins and 3 losses. They didn't spank Melbourne, but they got them in the end, and the centre-bet odds would suggest it's going to be a tall order for the Brisbane Lions. A big inclusion, Adam, for, well, both sides, Favola and Revolt's return to footy.
Yeah, it's obviously a massive story, Nick, if he does play. I think even if it's at the Gabba, I think Lenny Hayes is probably the main man to stop up there. I think the Saints will be too good. And happy birthday this week to Michael Gardner.
Happy birthday
It's his
to Michael
birthday
Gardner.
this week, so I just thought I'd mention that.
Brother-in-law.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, looking at the form of these two sides, you know, you couldn't do anything but pick St Kilda with those 2 inclusions as well, with Revolt and Cozzy. So, yeah, I think St Kilda pretty comfortably.
Yeah, 8 Brisbane players had less than 10 touches last week. Too many passengers there.
Not good.
No, not good at all. And Jason Graham named as an emergency. Interesting.
Wow.
So St Kilda.
I would...
Johnny?
What?
Johnny?
Johnny.
Johnny?
What's your christened name? Is John?
Shut up, Jamie. I would seriously doubt if Nick Riewoldt would play, surely. History might repeat itself, but when I was on Triple M and went up there and saw the bun fight before you knifed me at Triple M and took my job...
Yes. That's not the reason you're not at Triple M.
I saw Brisbane work Nick over...
Long time ago.
Well, it's a while ago, Gary. I'm just saying, history might repeat itself. St Kilda would win, but I would doubt if Nick would play, surely.
I think he'll play, and I think they'll win, and we might tell
I'm
the
not a
real
doctor,
story
Gary,
why you're
but-
not at Triple M when we get a little bit of time, Jim.
On the blue version of the Footy Show. Now, this is break time, but there's still plenty to come, including footy legends and a big edition of Street Talk. Stay with us.
Welcome back to the Footy Show. Time now, almost footy legends, and Coons has helped me out here. Coons, I'll go first. Port Melbourne versus Springvale. Have a look at this here. The Port Melbourne player goes to kick it. It's a bit muddy. Have a look at this. Look at him. He's on for a run. Let's have a look at it in slow-mo. Tries to go trips over flat on his face.
Next one here, we've got West Perth versus Claremont. Just the umpire struggling a little bit to get the ball back in.
Come on, ump. Look at that. James Brayshaw throwing it in. And let's have a look at the Old Boys versus University Blacks. Have a look at this. Bursts into the 50, has one, can't pick it up. Come on, mate. Kick a goal, open goal. Oh, no. Very much like Bruce Stanley last week. Cannot pick it up. Go on. And there's a rush behind. Which one did you like, Coons?
I have to go with number 3, I reckon.
Oh, no, what about the crowd? Do you like number 1? No, they didn't. Number 2, the umpire. Number 3. Oh, Coons. Well done. Paul Newport from Mentone, you've won this.
Thanks to Crazy Johns, your mobile experts, our weekly winner takes home a brand new phone from Crazy's huge range, while our 2 runners-up get $500 cash courtesy of our good friends at Crazy Johns. And the major prize winner at the end of the year takes home the Nissan Navara ST 4x4 with a powerful 126 kilowatt turbo diesel engine, 16-inch alloy wheels, massive towing capacity and a 6-stack CD player. The Navara is loaded with features. Great value at just over $50,000. Nissan Navara is tough at work, hard at play.
Thank you, Mika. Send your entries to Almost Footy Legends, PO Box 800, Richmond, Victoria 3121. And don't forget now you can upload your legends directly to our website at 9msn.com.au/Footy Show, Jim Boy.
Beautifully handled, Big Willis. Now, the next game involves the West Coast Eagles and Adelaide, Subiaco Oval, Saturday. West Coast coming off an 83-point smacking at the hands of Collingwood. They now 16th on the ladder. Jones, Hams, Brown, Smith and Stevenson come in. Dalziel, Swift and McGinnity are out injured. And McKinley and Wilkes have been omitted. Over to Adelaide, there they are in search of their 4th win in 5 weeks. They head to Perth with an unchanged lineup. Congratulations to Andrew Embley, of course, former Norm Smith medalist, who plays game number 200. He has been a terrific player for the West Coast Eagles. Big Hank.
Yeah, Adelaide is starting to play some of their best footy the last few weeks after a slow start. Kurt Tippett's getting back to that form of last year. He was kicking lots of goals. He's kicked 14 goals in the last 3 weeks. And in saying that, I think Adelaide will keep winning and keep on that winning way. So well.
Yeah, Adelaide for me, they've reinvented themselves the last couple of weeks, and West Coast will win their first wooden spoon ever.
Yeah, I think Bo Waters has been the only shining light for West Coast so far this year. I think he'll win their best and fairest. Kurt Tippett, too big. I think Adelaide will win over there.
Samuel? Do you say he's been the only shining light? Light?
Yes,
light.
light.
That's fair enough.
Shining light.
Jimmy, he's a bit slow, Sam.
What?
He's just run out of gas. There you go. Some gold.
Yeah, a little
no,
visual
mate,
one.
just as an exercise, have a sip of it and see if you spark up between now and the end of the show. Not that you've been exemplary tonight. Don't worry about that, Adam. I don't know why the West Coast would. I know it's at Subiaco. They may as well just, I don't know, go up and watch the Dolphins up at Monkey Mere or something.
It's been a bit of a sad season.
Sad season.
Kurt Tippett, I told you he could play for us.
Who is he?
Who is he? You don't know him, do you?
No idea.
All right, I think Adelaide are going to win. Street Talk from Werribee coming up next.
Well, me. Jason Ackermanis called his opponent on the weekend a dribbler. Oh, pardon me, dribbler. Is that such an awful thing? Let's go and ask the people of Werribee what they think. Is this about Jason Ackermanis calling someone a dribbler?
No.
Oh, you love him?
Oh, he's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything nasty.
Now, sir, Jason said... What?
Nathan. My name's Nathan, not Jason.
You idiot. I'm talking about Jason Ackermanis.
Oh, there's another... What? I'm the idiot. Jason. OK, yes, Jason, yes.
Now, listen, Jason Ackermanis, he called his opponent on the weekend in the VFL a dribbler.
Did he?
What do you think he
bastard.
He's a bastard. What do you think he meant by a dribbler, Del? Dribbler would hardly be... Got to get better than a dribbler, wouldn't you?
Oh, I don't know. I could call some people a lot of things, but I won't.
What would be the best thing you could throw at someone if you want to upset them? Go on, we can beep it out.
I tell them to get
Think we got that up in time? This man's got an inspirational song, I think. You take it over, sir. Here's...
We're not indestructible, baby, better get that straight. I think it's unbelievable how you give into the hands of fate.
Just say if someone really riled you, what would you say to him?
I'd call him a sucker, Sam.
Mule. A mule. Useless mule.
So your shoelaces run down. Your shoelaces?
Your shoelaces are undone.
Yeah.
Well, now that'd put the fear of Christ into people.
That's right.
I say you f***ing low-life of
Well, some things are worth fighting for. Some feelings never die.
And what are you saying? It won't matter what you say, we can put the sign up.
Big Kev.
Just saying you're a dickhead.
Oh, dickhead. We don't need to sign for dickhead. We can say dickhead on camera.
Yeah.
Nothing stronger.
Yeah. Oh, well, I have at times.
What is the strongest?
Down and G, whatever sort of thing.
Gosh, golly, gee.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it to the officials.
No,
You'd
no,
be allowed
you
to
can't.
swear at the players.
No, you're not. I umpire in the VAFA, not allowed to swear,
umpire. Jesus. Thanks for being so sincere, Kev.
I'm a very sincere person. Yeah, very, very sincere person.
Not sincere, sincere.
Sincere person. You better scrub that out, mate.
Yeah, scrub out the fact that Kev said superior.
Yeah.
It's sincere. Yeah, and the other mob, Uruguay playing Paraguay, playing anything that ends in Y.
They play Holland.
Holland, that's right, the Dutch.
The Dutch, yeah. Netherlands.
What?
Netherlands, yeah.
Neverland.
Yeah, that's it.
No, Neverland's where Mike Jackson used to live.
Oh, that's it, yeah. That's
You're
it.
thinking of the Netherlands. You've put a V in there, sir.
I did, yeah, I did, yeah.
I just wanna know why
Has it got a
there's
tune?
no easy way out. There's no shortcut home.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, well, don't let that happen again, will you?
No, I will. All right. Right, set up.
Is it good to be able to talk to someone who's not a simpleton or, you know, one of them sort of people?
Say that again, Dale, sorry.
Is it good to be able to talk to someone who's not a simpleton or...
Yes, yes. No, you said that correctly, though. It's been an absolute delight to speak to someone who's not a simpleton.
I reckon if there was no footy show without you.
Oh, now, come on, you're just saying that.
I'm not. No footy show without you.
Yeah, just say it again. I'll hesitate to ask this, but what do you think of the footy show?
Not too bad. Sometimes
you have sugar in your coffee? Because I'm bringing you a coffee out. What would you like? Cappuccino
Jeez,
or
I
latte?
thought she was a ventriloquist. She's got.
You've got your
She's put a hand up the backside and she's working me with a foot pedal.
I'm not asking for another chance. I just wanna know why.
That is f***ing awful. Say it again.
No footy show without
No, I won't have that. I won't hear that. I won't hear that at all, please. We're a team. We are a team at the Footy Show once more. You're singing goodbye. Well, I'm going to leave you now. Nice to meet you, Sam. All the best to you. I'm going down to do some shopping at the Kmart. It's about as good as the shit you were singing, mate. Well, no, please don't go again.
Fine form out there in Werribee there, Fossil.
Very nice folk out at Werribee
Lovely
and
folk.
all other places.
Yep.
Gary?
Going to tackle the last game. It's Carlton up against the Western Bulldogs. 6 on the line of the Blues, 8 wins, 6 losses. Eddie Betts on fire, 14 goals last 3. Wiggins, Bauer and Lucas come into the squad. They take on Adam Cooney's Western Bulldogs, who are just ticking over at the moment. The ladder, 8 wins, 6 losses, went down to the Hawks by 3 points. Mitch Harns out the hamstring, Will Minton an ankle, and Sam Reid with the shoulder. William Stack, Everett, Roughhead, Hooper and Eagleton. Andrew Hooper, a new player, elevated off the rookie list. Adam, you've only won against Brisbane and West Coast in the last 5 weeks. You need to beat a contender or a top 8 side, and this is one of them.
Yeah, both sides going for a hopefully top 4 position, so it's a must-win for both clubs, and hopefully we can get over the line.
Hank?
Yeah, Adam's mob, the Bulldogs will get up this week and bounce.
Gazza, I've been telling you about Centrebet over the last few weeks and how you can pick your own line on any footy match every week, OK? It's that simple, I can do it. All you have to do is pick the match, so it's Carlton Western Bulldogs I'm going to pick. Pick the winner, I think Carlton will win, and I reckon they'll win by 13 points. Do you know what Centrebet, what odds they'll give me?
What?
$3.65 for that.
Crap.
What about that, Hank?
Can't believe it.
So, if you think you can pick a winner and what they'll win by this weekend, head to centrebet.com and pick your own line, because every point has its prize.
Well done, Big Bill.
Is that new, Bill? That's just picking a winner, isn't it? How long's that been going on?
Centrebet live read, Sam.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Your winner here, Sam?
Yeah, no. When you wait till the Western Bulldogs get their best side in, you know, all those people playing in the VFL, wait till they put the proper side in. But I think that you will beat Carlton, Adam, and incidentally, now we've had a lot of mail and and people drove me mad about the bloke we said we'd make teeth for. We've checked him out. He's come in and we're going to... Kev King, the world's greatest teeth maker, is going to make Adam Smith's teeth.
Well, and Adam...
And so don't pester us about why we haven't done it.
Adam thought we were trying to avoid him. We had rung him about 12 times.
We had the wrong number.
One digit wrong in the number. So it's all sorted and we'll do that over the next few weeks.
Yeah. Who's winning this game?
Dogs for me.
All right, so we are going to a break because on the other side of it we're going to wrap up what has been a massive footy show. Stay with us.
Welcome back to the Footy Show. Almost done for the night. I want to thank Adam Cooney for coming in.
Did you leave anything out of that last game?
Come on, Gary, have a look down the bottom.
I'm just about to say, I'd like to thank Adam Cooney for coming in at very late notice. His beautiful wife, Hayley's in the audience, and it's his 150th game. Also to Hamish McIntosh, fine debut, Hank. Good luck to you and Bill. You're an idiot.
I went to the launch of the best book you'll ever buy.
Is this right?
This is our great game. This is from when it started, a pictorial record from 1900s. I'm just on the end there. And right through the great Teddy Whitten. This is from all the photographers who have ever taken... Jeff Slattery put it together. If ever I was going to recommend anything, that is a sensational book. And not only if you're interstate, there's all the players who made the AFL and VFL great from interstate are in there. Fantastic book. I tell you what, that is as good a reference you'll get to our great game, which is a great game, from when it started up until the present.
That is a stunning endorsement, Jim. What are you doing over there?
Well, I thought I was good, Gary, tonight.
I generally don't need to thank you, Jim.
I see.
Need a pat on the back. Well done to you, Jim. We're going to see you next week. Good night.
Unloads at the border.